Today on DC News Now.
DC circulator routes coming to an end starting next month. How riders and employees are hoping the decision can be reversed.
Seeing a warm up today, but that won't last long. Forecaster Brittany Ward times it all out for you.
We're learning more about the suspect accused of unlawfully discarding a loaded gun that ended up killing an MPD investigator when he's due back in court.
Also, it's back to school season for your kids and your pets. Check out the helpful tips for dog training from an expert. And the 2024 presidential campaigns have their eyes on the economy as they continue down the campaign trail. Get the latest from both sides. That's next.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Well, good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for the news at noon. I'm Mark Hall. Weather forecaster Brittany Ward joins us now with the latest check on the forecast. And Brittany, it's Friday, but it's also cloudy. We were spoiled by that sunshine throughout the week.
Yeah, you know, we are not going to be seeing much sun today as we head through your Friday. Still going to be dealing with a few clouds, and we could also see a stray shower across portions of the area, but it's not going to be a complete washout. So taking a look at satellite and radar right now, showing you we are seeing those dry conditions across much of the area. But again, those clouds, they are working their way into the DMV. But back off to the west, out towards the Ohio Valley, we're going to be keeping an eye out on this cold front that's going to be moving through as we head through your weekend, and that's going to be bringing us some unsettling conditions. So stepping out the door for lunch right now, still not looking bad in terms of those temperatures, sitting in the 70s across much of the area, with the exception of Cumberland. It looks like you guys are still struggling to get out of the 60s. 69 there, 72 currently in Hagerstown, 75 here in the district, 78 as you head over there to Lexington Park. Now, talking about the weekend, that cold front will begin to work its way through the DMV as we head through your day on Saturday. That's going to be sparking up some showers and storms, but then notice behind it, we start to see drier conditions. High pressure will begin to work its way back into the DMV. That's going to be providing us with some sunny skies, and we're also going to be tracking a cool down. So keep it here, Mark. Well, full breakdown and the timing of those showers coming up in just a bit.
All right, Brittany, thank you. And breaking earlier today, WSSC Water lifting the essential water use request in Prince George's County. The request went into effect for parts of the county Wednesday night while crews are working to replace a section of piping. The project finished ahead of schedule, meaning that those impacted can return to regular water use. WSSC says that if your water is discolored, you can run all taps on cold water until the water runs clear. Well, the suspect accused of unlawfully discarding a loaded gun that ended up killing a Metropolitan Police investigator is due back in court. 27-year-old Terrell Bailey turned himself in on Wednesday, and DC News Now's Liberty Simmons was in Northwest DC with what we can expect in his next court appearance.
Well, we are learning that Bailey is set to face his detention hearing here on Tuesday. He is not being charged directly for the death of investigator Wayne David, but he faces serious gun charges that could leave him behind bars for decades. The U.S. Attorney's Office released these images of Bailey. He is indicated here in the red circle. Prosecutors say the images show Bailey jumping down from a wall on I-295 before unlawfully discarding a gun down a storm drain and taking off on a motorcycle. The incident occurred back on August 28th, just before 6 p.m. MPD investigator Wayne David tried to recover the gun when it accidentally went off, killing him.
You've heard me say 1,000 times that people who shouldn't have guns, felons should not be in possession of guns. We have to take that crime and charge that.
Prosecutors are charging Bailey with possession of a firearm by a felon, possession of a firearm with an obliterated serial number, and unlawfully discarding a firearm and ammunition. Neighbor Livia Bergea, who lived next to David and attended his memorial, was saddened to hear about his death.
I feel bad, because an innocent man died because of what he did. And I think, we all have to pay for the consequences of our bad actions.
Meanwhile, the grandmother of Bailey was outside the courtroom here talking to reporters off camera yesterday for his first court appearance, and she defended her grandson, saying he wasn't doing anything suspicious that night. For now, in Northwest D.C., Liberty Simmons, D.C. News Now.
Thanks to Liberty in Virginia, the search appearing to ramp up for missing Manassas Park mom, Mamta Koffli-Bott. Yesterday, investigators were seen looking near Manassas Christian School. The police chief says that they didn't find anything. And this is one of several locations police have been searching for the 28-year-old nurse and mother. They've also been looking through the Blooms Crossing community and Camp Carondelet and an area of Blooms Park. Mamta's husband, Naresh Bhatt, waiving his right to a grand jury. And during yesterday's hearing, the judge called an initial recess to allow time to find an interpreter for him. Bhatt waived his right to the grand jury to get a speedy trial. And that means the prosecutors have 5 months to bring the case to trial. The family and friends were inside the courtroom for the hearing.
I have no doubt that the Commonwealth is putting together a very strong case. I think, there's a wealth of evidence that's already been collected by Prince William, through the crime lab, Manassas Park Police Department. They're processing that evidence. It's going to take time. Mr. Bhatt thinks he's smart, but I guarantee you the weight of justice is leaning hard on him, and we're going to see this come to fruition.
Naresh Bhatt's next court date, September 16th. We're expected to learn more about an upcoming trial date during that hearing. Well, new details this afternoon. The father of a teen charged with shooting and killing 4 people at a Georgia high school is now under arrest, and he's facing 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter and 2 counts of second-degree murder and 8 counts of cruelty to children. His 14-year-old son is being charged as an adult in the shooting. The county sheriff's office says the charges against the father are for letting his son possess a weapon. Back in April, 2 parents in Michigan were convicted after their child killed 4 students in a school shooting back in 2021. Well, beginning next month, DDOT will start cutting bus routes for the D.C. Circulator, and it's all part of the process to shut down the bus system by the end of the year because of budget cuts. DC News Now's Jean-Marie Sissay spoke to riders and employees pushing for the mayor's office to reconsider.
Well, in October, the Roslyn-DuPont Circle DC Circulator route will no longer exist, and eventually the entire bus system will be gone by the end of the year. Many riders and employees say they're hoping something can be done to change this decision.
I think it's a sad loss for Washington.
It's a very, very big inconvenience.
Riders like Priscilla Friendpong and George Endike rely on the DC Circulator to get to work every day.
From here, you can connect to the other circulator and go to Union Station, which is a route the Metro doesn't cover. The cost is about half the standard cost of Metro.
But starting in October, DDOT will begin downsizing routes and eventually shut down the bus system at the end of the year due to budget cuts.
It helps me to get to the office on time. And with this not being there, I don't know.
Mayor Muriel Bowser says ridership is down since the pandemic and is no longer worth the cost. And according to city data, Circulator ridership saw a steady increase after the pandemic, but between 2023 and 2024, that number did drop by 500,000. Daryl Harrison, supervisor for the DC Circulator, doesn't believe that's true.
I'm trying to understand where they're getting their ridership numbers from. One, our buses stay packed. Then also some of our fare boxes are not working. So how are you counting? I'm just asking to reconsider. Look at what the people saying in the city. Do you see the conflict that's going on? Have a change of heart. Consider us another year.
And riders are hoping the same.
Well, I hope we can save the circulator, and I certainly would continue taking that.
Well, in the meantime, DDOT says they're working with WMATA to determine service levels needed to accommodate any closures. Reporting in Roslyn, I'm Jean-Marie Sissay, DC News Now.
Jean-Marie, thank you. Washington Capitals celebrating their 50th anniversary season today. Palmer Alley at City Center, D.C. will be decorated from top to bottom with Caps gear. Pucks and hockey sticks and the team's logo will be hanging across the shopping center. Fans can enjoy music, games, and treats to celebrate the occasion. And Caps owner Ted Leonsis, as well as current and former players, will be there for photographs and autographs. It's happening today from 12:30 to 2 p.m. The display will stay up until November. Fans are asked to share photos of Palmer Alley in celebration of the Capitals' anniversary. You can submit them at the team's website for a chance to win game tickets and prizes. Also happening today, Washington Spirit owner Michael Kang and new investor Urban Magic Johnson will host a community event at Ida B. Wells Middle School. Now, the event comes a day after the Spirit announced that the move to have Johnson become an investor. Johnson already holds partial ownership in several teams, including the Washington Commanders and the Los Angeles Dodgers. He says that he's excited to be a part of the Spirit and the National Women's Soccer League's growth. That event today begins at 2. Now that we have back-to-school shopping out of the way, we have some tips on where you find the next set of deals. Reporter Laura Hutchinson from our sister station in Connecticut is stretching your dollar with what to buy and what to hold off on right now.
The Labor Day deals and back-to-school rush behind us, you may not want to put that credit card away just yet. The end of summer months means new markdowns. According to Deal News, this is the best time to shop summer apparel, especially for next year. Think of your growing children or any staples you know you'll like to have and may still be able to wear this year. Experts say this is the month to buy mattresses. They're big for the Labor Day holiday, and some deals carry throughout the month. And old phones, as new Apple products may be unveiled, older items go on sale. Now, what not to buy? Skip those electronics if you can, as Black Friday and Cyber Monday are best for that, and it'll be here before you know it.